People do not trust the media, and let's be fair, they've totally earned the reputation they have gained. This is a great series of polls from Gallup, in which they just ask people, what is your political position, and do you trust the media? And it's very interesting to see the results. So this is from 2024, and as you can see, back in 1972, Democrats and Republicans were only 6 points between them on whether they trust the media, with independents actually being less trusting of the media than either one of the partisans. And then you can see that by the 1980s, there is a sharp decline on both sides, although much more pronounced for the Republicans, but also including the independents, on whether the media was trustworthy. Very interesting. So if you thought, well, it's because of the internet, it's because people have a lot more access to information the media doesn't want to report, well, not necessarily true. This was happening long before the internet. But you can see that with the rise of the internet in the 2000s, the Republican trust just went off a cliff. And with the advent of Donald Trump entering the race, my goodness, it's unlikely that the Republicans are ever going to trust media again. But even then, despite during the sort of, Trump era, where the media was very, very heavily anti-Trump and therefore playing into the biases of the Democrats, where over 3/4 of them found themselves completely in the media cycle, well, with the loss of Kamala Harris and the end result of this coming about, you can see that the collapse on the Democrat side has also come as well. Having just over half of the Democrats being like, yeah, the media is trustworthy, means that just under half of them say, no, the media is full of shit too. Like, what is going on here? And of course, this goes on for the independents and of course for the Republicans. So you can see it's not just a partisan issue. Overall, people don't trust the media. And this is reflected in people buying the media and watching the media. This is Pew Research showing that, look, back in the 1940s, when the American population was what, 250 million, something like that. Back in the 1940s, they were selling 41 million newspapers a day. Now, that's basically the same, and on the Sunday newspapers and the weekday estimates for the 2020s, it's halved, right? Like, the population has massively expanded, but the numbers have collapsed, which should be a complete concern. Now, you might say, okay, but this is because of the internet, right? This is because people are getting the news from the internet. Maybe, but then that changes the paradigm, doesn't it? We'll get into that in a minute. Also, when it comes to watching TV news, back in 2016, evening news would get something like 4 million viewers. It's down to 3 million viewers. Morning news from 3 million to 2 million. These are huge collapses. A collapse of a third of your viewers is a collapse of a third of your revenue. As MSNBC discovered the day after Kamala lost, almost half of their audience has just been like, yeah, no, screw it. These guys are lies. These guys are wrong. These guys are not the future. We're not watching them. They're not making things better. They are not properly informing us. And Elon Musk has been repeatedly posting, well, hey, Twitter is a free platform now. I'm not going to censor information like the Hunter Biden laptop story, etc., etc. Again, there is such a litany of fake news stories where the media themselves covered up something in conjunction with the social media establishment, and Elon Musk has upended that cart, brought in the community notes, which I think is a huge factor in what we're about to talk about, and said you can verify the information for yourself. And they are not happy about it. This is the Axios CEO absolutely pitching a fit about this. And God, it's kind of glorious to watch. Let's watch.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everyone.
Yeah, slow clap that Morning Joe. This is the really interesting part, right? Because when do the media ever do the hard work? When do they actually get out of their air-conditioned offices and actually get on the streets and actually do the goddamn job? They don't. That's the point. And it's much more effective to actually have a crowdsourced citizen journalist, someone who's on the scene, just recording whatever it is and uploading it to Twitter. Because you don't have the kind of institutional filter that gets from the original recording of the source to it being presented to you with the agenda that they want. So it's actually quite unfiltered, and they're not happy about that. But again, getting back to these people, right? Deeply ironic that they were like, no, you've got to do the hard work. You are trading on a reputation you lost 40 years ago. No one thinks the media gets out off their fat asses to go and do the hard work. No one thinks that. These are regime stenographers. Morning Joe are so deeply and closely connected with the Democrat Party. They literally just parrot the party line. Like Mika Brzezinski a few years ago said, well, hang on a second, Donald Trump's telling people what to think, and that's our job. And that's exactly how she thinks of this entire industry, the entire ecosphere. And they're being upset that they're being upstaged by regular people who actually can gain a very large social media following, go viral with things they've posted, and undercut them completely, bypass these gatekeepers, which is what they're complaining about. Again, the slow clap, yeah, bravo, we're hard-hitting investigative journalists. No, what happens is that a bunch of people online will say something that is true, and you will say, well, no, I've got an institution to defend here. So you will go to the institution, whether it's the governments, whether it's corporations, whether it's universities, whatever it is, and you'll just say, they deny it. See, they say here, no, that's not true. And there we go. The institution, the authorities have said that's not true. You don't have the authority of this institution. Therefore, you're wrong and they're right. That's how these work. And that's why people don't bloody well trust them, because it's so obvious you don't do any of the job. It's insufferable that you try and claim there's some dignity to being a journalist in the year of our Lord 2024. And of course, the Axios CEO spurging out because look at his numbers. His numbers are straight cratering through the floor. I mean, my numbers are doing great. Everyone else I know, their numbers are doing great. Axios isn't doing so great. Really interesting that, isn't it? And again, what's my interest? What's my interest? My interest is make sure my country doesn't get destroyed. I mean, that seems like a good interest. Seems like the sort of interest that people can relate to. And be as honest as I can. Like, I receive kudos from people when I'm honest. I don't receive a pat on the back from the Democrat regime when I lie to you. Like, I don't get any of that. I'm not on their payroll. I'm not on anyone's bloody payroll. This channel's still demonetized, by the way, which sucks. Like, I'm not on anyone's bloody payroll. I get paid because people want to donate to my personal projects, the businesses I run, in order to make sure that I can continue doing this. Right? But what about Axios? What about all of these people? What about The Guardian? You know, like, I love this. I love this so much. Oh, we're going to stop posting on Elon Musk's toxic X. Okay, X. Okay, let's just think about this, right? So you're a hard-hitting investigative journalist for The Guardian, not just a regime defender from the comfort of your air-conditioned and centrally heated office. And you've gone out, you've got the scoop. Don't know what about, because again, you support almost everything that exists. You are a complete regime dependent, and you support everything they do. But you've got the hard hitting scoop. You're worried that the government's going to censor you, or the media's going to, or the social media's going to censor you. You want to get it out, and so you don't post it on a really influential social media platform. Why? Because there are people on there that say things you don't like, and that's the cover story. But the real reason is, of course, you keep posting bullshit, and you keep getting community noted. People keep literally on your post going, yeah, this isn't true, and here's the proof. And you're sick of getting absolutely roasted. You're sick of the fact that your lies aren't working. And so you're like, yeah, no, we're not posting there anymore. But the thing is, every social media platform should have a kind of community notes feature, right? It should be incumbent on the platform to allow people to post a response to something that is false. And it is good that community notes does do this, because I am actually sick of kind of slop from all directions. I'm very tired of it. And when the European Federation of Journalists are like, we're going to suspend posting on Elon Musk's account. Oh, well, why is that? I mean, it must be because there's something really concerning about the dissemination of information. You know, these hard-hitting journalistic exposés that you're doing. Elon Musk must be what? Censoring it? Keeping it down? Making sure that you can't do it? But they say no. After the US elections, the EFJ has pointed out the threat to democracy and freedom of expression posed by cooperation between the president of the most powerful country in the world, Trump, and the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, who is also the owner of social media network X. And he's been appointed to lead a Department of Government Efficiency body when Trump takes office. Okay. So it's not that Donald Trump, the president, has been like, right, shut them down. It's not like he's sending Gestapo to arrest journalists or disappearing them like in Russia or North Korea or something like that. It's not that Elon Musk has banned you from posting on this very influential social media network. It's not that there is any penalty for you posting on this network. In fact, what has he done? He's made it so you get paid by the verified view on that platform. So if you post on Twitter, and you're obviously you pay for premium, which is like $8 a month or something, so it's totally worth the time, you get paid by interaction based on advertiser impressions, etc., etc. So you actually make money on this thing now, where you didn't before. When the regime controlled, you didn't make money off it. Now you do make money off it, and you're not happy about it. Right. So you're not being censored. You're not being persecuted. What is the problem? We cannot continue to participate in the social network of a man who proclaims the death of the media and therefore of journalists. Well, you haven't done any journalism, have you? And you're dying as an industry because you are simply not useful. That's your problem. People can get true information elsewhere with a fact-checking mechanism behind it in the community notes, and it is destroying you. The social media site has become a preferred vector of conspiracy theories, racism, far-right ideas, and misogynistic rhetoric. Oh, right, okay, so what you're saying is the political opposition have freedom as well. We're not being censored, they're not being censored, and we can't stand the fact that they're not being censored. Cry me a river, you won't be missed. And so this is just embarrassing. Like, CNN did a recent panel talking about how actually the political sway of X is remarkably neutral. And I see these posts all the time. I see someone from the far left going, this has got 150,000 likes, by the way. And I see people from the right saying, this post from the far left has got 150,000 views. This must all be botted. I don't think it is botted. I think that just literally millions of people use it. And actually, there's lots of different people from across the political spectrum. But let's watch this. This is genuinely fascinating.
I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott, stop. It's too early. I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes.
You cannot continue to say
that. You cannot say that.
So,
that's not the case.
So
Who's the source of that?
What I find, we reported it on this network.
Who's your source? CNN. I don't believe that. That can't be true, says CNN host. Well, there we go. This is what you get. This is embarrassing. Genuinely embarrassing. And Elon Musk's mum was going on Fox being like, well, the media is just terrible. Well, I thought they were generally okay, apart from the politicians they hated. But obviously they start being dishonest about her son, and she realized, no, they're all terrible. The media itself in total has to change. And she's not wrong. The media is awful. The journalists are awful. They became very lazy. They became essentially ideologically and financially bought off by the powers that be, and they didn't serve their function, and now something is rising in their place. And this is what they get. You get this, you did this to yourself. Elon Musk isn't killing journalism. Journalism died a natural death, and Elon Musk is what grows up out of the loom of that. Anyway, if you would like to see more of me, go to Lotus East Daily. I'll leave a link in the description. Go and watch my wife jack video. I thought I had a great take on this. You know, the trend of women turning their brains off and the trend of men thinking about the Roman Empire. Well, I think this is all connected. I think there is a lot to this. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check it out.